Yeah, I'm not sure about this big door up here, but it might make sense once we have a bridge. Might also try lowering it, creating a ramp up. That would have to be after. I'd like it lower, but that does mean that we would need basically our air vent to be right here. That could work. Couldn't it? I think it would. I like it. Wait a minute. I'd have to come forward one to make that work. Right? Yeah. Alright, so that means that we don't have to have these all connected, but I think it means that we don't need this. We do need this. There's going to be our air vent. And then here's where we connect to it. We step outside for a minute. Okay, so this is just a block. And then this must connect. Probably another conveyor. But wait. So we'd have to come up the side. I'm still just not sure how this is even going to work. Might need to be forward even more. Because the important part is we connect these. And that probably means a conveyor. Yeah, I think we're going to go back to what we had and then so again, this may be ridiculous, but and it may not work, but let's see what we can do. So if we had an air vent here, we could yeah, it's too much. We have an air vent here. We can walk up from the side. No, we can't. Not sure about this. What I'm thinking is an airlock that somehow connects stairs. Yeah, but then we still would need... So this definitely... we definitely need to go asymmetrical for this. Let's say airlock, door, stairs. Does that work? Cabin can be above. Could potentially even raise all this up. Because once we're in here, of course it does mean we're piping. We're doing a lot of piping. So I'd rather maybe walk up somewhere around here. I don't know if this is going to work. Start coming up, and then we have access. We have forward access to more gyros. I guess that could work. Only on one side at this point, just something to note. So my goal is what exactly? To get up here and up to a bridge that also includes an airlock that can lead us up here. Ideally, I'd want to do that, sort of in one spot. Maybe come up that side. Come up one side and go down the other side. Room for a living type block around here. So what does this do? It walks around. It goes through an airlock. It's a lot of going around. This is also going to lead us to the bridge. And give us a conveyor going all the way out. Could be either here or here, depending on what we decide. Kind of like the idea of it. Oops, wrong. Maybe keeping it a little more open. And we can have an actual floor of our bridge. We'll probably keep these as standard blocks. We can do a catwalk. Decide how we want to do that. Good idea to have a door leading out the front. Which might just mean one too many airlocks, but I'm not sure yet. So just to get an idea of how much space that would take up. We come up here, and then in the same location, we go up there, same location, same, which actually gives us a walkway through that. It's kind of cool. I don't know about this window, but I'm not against it. Could also try going up all on this side. Something like that. But does that work? Roof, roof, roof. Trying to avoid going that high on the roof. So again, unless we have an airlock that's lower, that's not going to work. So we're walking. Maybe a passageway to save space down here. Or maybe even better yet, maybe do a different type of passageway up here. I'm going to consider this is going to be an airlock. So we do have room for doors right here. That could work. We'll minimize the vertical footprint, if that makes any sense. So we've used square corridors. Do we want to keep with those? I think so. I just like them. And we are symmetrical. So we have 1, 2, 3. How much light? The more light, the better. There's a light. There's no light. There's a light. And I think it has potential. Will that work? Maybe. Excuse me. I mean, it's pretty cool from a sort of just the way that it's laid out. Get them in here. We've got an airlock, big hole in the floor, which gives us room for our good old inset light. Grab your spacesuit and head on up to the roof. I think it's okay. We could make it a little bit more efficient, I think. By placing that there. Not sure if there's much point in that pipe anymore. TBD. A couple more gyros. And we might not even need some of these blocks. Then again, we might. May need different lighting choices there. Is that our corner? Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty good. We can easily get through. I think with the light we can switch those. so we're not just overusing it, but also I think it'll make a little more sense. So this one is the light, that is the not light. So we're going to swap those. Not light. Light. Not sure what's happening here. I broke it. Maybe make both of them lights. Feels like ships are always pretty dark. My ships, that is. Now we'll sort this out after we take off our symmetry mode. The upstairs portion. We want it to line up with the I think that means that we want to do this. Pretty sure that's right. Not bad, not bad. And ideally we would want to have, I guess we'd want to have a door. Makes a lot of sense to put a door coming from the outside to the inside. On the other hand, then maybe we stagger these stairs a little. Do something interesting so they're not always in the center. Although, that mess. Could be ore detector. Let's just cover it up and decide later. It's starting to look like a ship. And then maybe since we have all this, what if we just do a ground level bridge? And then we'll start getting some details happening. So did I say that this was... Oh yeah, those hangar doors. I'm not really sure what works there, apart from flipping them over and having this be a block on top. It's just less visible from the bottom. Although I do really like the idea that you can look in the hangar doors. Like, this is how it's intended, clearly. I don't really just want to leave them exposed, though. Oops. Okay. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I mean, something like that could work. Fix all this at some point. Just get rid of all this messy stuff. sunset lights. Figure out a decent way to make this. Still not sure here. That's kind of the idea that I was thinking about somewhere. Just making some rough edges. And it makes sense that this wouldn't be just right on the edge of the ship, so maybe out to here. Or we could even continue. That's not what we want. Yeah, none of that works. Some catwalks.